Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Gat, your host. Okay, we're looking at a couple. The person on the left requested this natal charts analysis. You can call it a compatibility natal charts analysis. You can call it twin flames natal chart analysis. Are we twin flames natal chart analysis? It goes on, it goes on. But either way, we're going to analyze it and see what it tells us. All right, so we're going to go right in. Okay, I'm looking at the chart to the left. I see, just looking at the retrograde. So we definitely got these retrogrades we'll be looking at on both charts. Okay, ascendant is Leo. So what I'm about to say will rule with the this first house, but Leo also rules the fifth house. Leo's about fun, romance, children, childlike behavior, childbearing, adventure, travel, taking risk, loyalty, leadership, creativity, entertainment. So this person will be a leader because your first house is going to be your mask or how the world sees you. So this person will definitely be a leader. And it's also in Aries. Aries rules the first house. So that can be somewhat aggressive. We'll learn more as we do the chart. But it's focused, forward moving, aggressive. And that's not necessarily in a bad way. Just because somebody says aggressive, it's not necessarily bad. Now, I'm going to try two things. We're going to try Jupiter retrograde first house. Well, what it really is Jupiter retrograde in Leo. So let's just see if they give it to us. Because that's what we want. All right, Astrago. So let's see. Astrago.com, Jupiter retrograde in Leo. It's funny, one of these, they're giving time zones, but the numbers they're using is real close to me. And it's kind of funny how life is. Plus, let me see. I'm going to show this to y'all. I'm going to throw this up in there. So you will see this at some point. Because it says 121. So that's one of the twin flames numbers that's assigned to me. But also my, this is real close to me. And then January 8th is when I had, in January 4th and 5th of 2008 was when they had that big UFO in Stephenville. But there was a lot of stuff going on. The moon was in Scorpio. And then in January 8th, something came out with Obama at the same time. I forget what it was. Or it might have been a UFO. Maybe the UFO was in January 8th. But January 4th and 5th was this big thing that happened. But it's just too many numbers that are too close to home for me not to notice it. So give me a second. I'm going to take this out. And don't forget, I'm a Leo. So this is some crazy stuff. Because this person told me, make sure you block out the address and all that. Now, the first thing that hit, that shit was funny. I can't make this shit up. That's why I want to show it to you. All right, so give me a second. I'm going to put this on pause. I'll be right back. All right, so you will see this at some point in the video. But you'll see the 121. That's my twin flame number assigned to me in the beginning, right on New Year's Day. of 2017. You'll also see January 8th, so you can go research that. UFO, Stephenville, Texas, January 8th, because that's when all this stuff came down. That was 2008. Then again, when you're dealing with this is coming straight out of Maryland, and that's Mary's land. That's the divine feminine. Mary is just another name for Isis. So why I'm saying that it's so important, because to have that person tell me that and then come here, and I had to block it out. So that's a big message. So that's how the spirit realm talks to you. As above, so below. But that's how they talk to you. So it'll definitely be something with this reading, because you know that I have through intuition and experience. Alright, now we're going to go back in. We're looking for Jupiter retrograde in Leo. This is astrago.com. I'm reading this over, just got to give me a moment. Retrograde planets and horoscope tell you why certain things will come to you later in life than others, such as a fulfilling relationship or marriage. That's funny how they start out with this. And this is the twin flame reading. Retrograde planets and horoscopes tell you why certain things will come to you later in life rather than others, such as fulfilling relationship or marriage, financial abundance, career opportunities, education, children, etc. If that planet is Jupiter, then you will face delayed results in one of these events: marriage, children, financial gains, career or business establishment, long cherished dreams, etc. And every year's Jupiter retrograde period of 4 months will prepare you for something better coming during its direct motion. So hers is Jupiter retrograde on her natal chart. But as far as what's going on in space, Jupiter goes retrograde for 4 months, and that's a preparation period. And then it's preparing you for when Jupiter goes direct. Few personal events like family, children, owning your own house, financial well-being can come late than usual, and that too after learning some lessons. However, spiritual enlightenment can come earlier than usual compared to others. So there'll be a delay on things like Jupiter does, and that's mostly material stuff in the physical world. But for spiritual enlightenment, now it says click this for more. I just hope that's what happens when I click it, that it'll actually give me more information. This varies with the point of Jupiter. In general, see, they jumped in when this is not Jupiter in Cancer, so. All right, so they started explaining, they didn't really go in, but that's okay because we're still looking for it anyway. Not a big deal. In case anybody's wondering what I'm doing, I always get second opinions. right. Give me a second. A Jupiter retrograde in Leo can mean that you might have to face shifting a place but may not like it. Ignore any kind of quarrel with people who really love you. Professional life of the natives of Leo may not be as good as they expect it to be, as you are not giving your 100% in it. Avoid being stubborn. Stick to your commitments, lead a happy life, and try to save money. Alright, I'm still looking. No, I don't want that. This will be one more. Called falconviewastrology.weebly.com. So give me a moment, we're going to look at it. Alright, now this seems like it has good information. Just give me a second. Jupiter is a planet of the higher mind, expansion, good fortune, and philosophy. Jupiter retrograde in Leo makes one look into what one must do to become successful, delving into philosophical debate, which can get quite heated. It may bring malice, but is quickly short-lived because the retrograde motion of Jupiter will make you aware of your assumptions. One may also have to swallow their pride and subdue their ego to ask for help. But this is the action that brings out the real courage of a lion. Instead of being subdued in false pride and being on a high horse, now you're ready to pursue your goals and what really matters. You physically and mentally travel until you come to a conclusion as to what it is, and that's really important to you. The parable of the prodigal son comes to mind. The son has returned to the position where it belongs. The son is where the heart is, which is home. Home to your children, home to your wife, home to yourself, because that's when you can receive the adoration you've been looking for. To give is to receive, and you receive from the ones who appreciate you. Great for bargain shopping. That little shop around the corner, which is not a recognizable name, could give you the best bang for the buck. You may surprise yourself from the amount you can purchase with what's in your pocket. Good for researching advertising marketing strategies, networking amongst professional endeavors, trying to find the content that people want the most. One will try a series of templates, constantly monitoring pie charts and demographics to learn how he can catch the big fish. You're taken back in time to your childhood. Through your childhood development, you can see yourself. Aware of the fact that this is your child and you are responsible for the development and the discipline to make them better than you were at that junction. You are literally watching your child become little professionals. All right. Now I'm going to pull up my paperwork. Give me one moment. Reading. Retrograde. Retrograde Jupiter. These people are capable of taking advantage of opportunities that others ignore or pass by. They prefer to take another crack at things others have tried and failed. Their moral and ethical code, religion, and philosophy are their own. They seek answers from within rather than subscribing to the standard dogma. They seek abundance in new, untried, and unproven areas. See, Leo likes to take risks, so retrograde Jupiter would be good on Leo because Leo likes taking risks. All right. Here. One of the social planets Jupiter can affect people in a very holistic manner. The retrograde causes society to reevaluate ethics. Spiritual beliefs and positions are questioned. Laws and acceptable or unacceptable behaviors are reevaluated. Jupiter's retrograde reminds us that we're all interconnected as a society, culture, and people. From this viewpoint, we see more of the things we have in common instead of differences. We look at those behaviors that may have once been unacceptable or had a stigma to them and find compassion and acceptance. Jupiter is also a ruler of travel. When in retrograde, travel plans are often adversely affected. Even the best well-laid plans can fall apart. Luggage can be lost. Means of transportation can develop mechanical problems, and reservations can be mixed up or canceled. So, this person may have experienced uh, travel problems because both Venus, Leo is about traveling, and Jupiter is about traveling, but it's retrograde, so it could be travel problems and or delays. If Jupiter is retrograde in your chart, searching for ethics, values, and fairness is probably a strong part of your personality. So now you know what it is. So with that Leo, that boldness, so this person may search for ethics, values, and fairness. No justice, no peace. Freedom, justice, and equality. a strong part of your personality. You seek truth and look for deeper meaning in life. Scientific and philosophical research may be of great interest. You may shun spiritual beliefs and feel a lack of respect for those who have a strong sense of spirituality in their lives. But not having this type of spiritual connection in your life makes you feel flat and sometimes empty. You probably feel bogged down and boxed in by routine, rituals, or blind faith. You continually question the latest fad of intellectual thought only to feel disappointed in the end. You're looking for that perfect spiritual path mixed with intellect, hoping to find the right balance between the two. From a past life perspective, there may have been a lifetime when you were persecuted for your spiritual ethical beliefs. This experience has probably left you feeling uneasy about embracing anything larger than yourself out of fear of another existence of persecution. You may be concerned about showing your wisdom, feeling fearful of responsibility, or for jeopardizing the positions of those who listen to you. To overcome these lessons, try to listen to your inner voice or intuition. Because that's what they said, though. They said this Jupiter retrograde is going to delay stuff so that you can become more spiritual. Because they're saying if that Jupiter retrograde didn't delay stuff, you would be more materialistic. We all have gut feelings, and a healthy amount of skepticism is a good thing. But too much can keep you from finding the balance you seek. Take a little step and start with meditation. Even if you don't want to associate it with the spiritual path, you can't deny the scientific benefits of such an exercise. When you do meditate, take time to listen to your inner voice, and you might find the right path or the perfect path you're looking for. All right. That's first house. And what happens with a natal chart? You'll always see me do this the first 2 or 3 houses because you got to get the vibe of everything. So you go to first three, first four, then after a while it starts to make more sense. All right, now I just want to try something. Easy eternal souls. Click here to read more. What it's saying for a Leo rising or a Leo ascendant, The power of the sun is the heart of your personality, Leo, and your ruling planet makes you shine so brightly in life. You therefore reflect these very traits of star, which is the core of our solar system. They say for a Leo, they say you have to learn how to cultivate humility if you are to sidestep problems in your relationship. Because the Leo wants to be the big cat in the jungle, and the world is their stage. I'm not saying every Leo is like that, but I hear that all the time. So they say that Leo wants to be fully engaged in meaningful work and social activities to feel good, and we already discussed that even with the Jupiter retrograde. The Leo shines at almost anything it does. All right. Okay, Leo ascendant Aries. The only means this only means that your external traits and behaviors are similar of those born under Aries as their ruling sign. Of course, this may be the opposite or simply different from what is in, and those are the traits inherent among Leos. Both Leo and Aries share fire as their key element. This means that passion, enthusiasm, intuition are traits that others will see in you constantly. Because of the highly courageous attitude brought about by your descendant, you are almost likely careless in performing activities and making decisions. Once your acquaintances become your true friends, this is when the loyal and entertaining Leo comes along and shines. All right. All right, we'll continue. Okay, we're gonna do your true north node. Looks like that horseshoe, and in your second house. That represents what you should be doing in this life. The website we're about to go to will tell you that's your sole purpose for this life. The website is called thesoulmatesite.com. The-soulmate-site.com. Your life theme is I analyze. Your soul color is orange. So this Virgo energy is symbolically going to represent the emotional responses, attitudes, and energy to adopt and explore throughout your life. There are 3 steps you can use to consciously attract a soulmate. If you go deeper, if you want to go deeper. Step 1, appreciate your Pisces talents. Now, why is she talking about your Pisces talents? Because your true north node represents your present life. If you go across, opposite, you see your, it's really kind of difficult to see, but you do see Pisces. Let me just count this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But there's always a connection between your 2nd house and your 8th house. But what's unique about your chart is it's not really directly opposite. In fact, it's more it's Pisces and Aquarius. But they both have that in common because they both want to teach. Aries is just more dealing with technology, independence, and helping the community. Pisces is more conservative than Aquarius. So that's representing your South node, and they're saying it's Pisces, which is ironic because she said how to attract a Pisces, how to attract your soulmate, and there's Juno in your 8th house. But I'm not going to talk too much about it till we get there. But Juno, that looks like a little asterisk star in your 8th house, that represents the type of person you may end up in a relationship with. And it can be their sign, but sometimes it's just denoting their characteristics. But we'll talk more about that when we get there. So that represents your past life. That's your South node as a spiritual person, but also very psychic, and a whole lot of other stuff that we'll talk about. So, 3 steps to attract your soulmate. First one, claim your, appreciate your Pisces talents. Pisces are quiet, compassion, introspection, and connection is natural to you. So you want to embody the highest expression of Pisces. So it's a definitely appreciate, but don't make Pisces your Pisces quality. Your Pisces quality is the center of your life, because you've already done that in the past life. So you really want to focus on your Virgo. Just for the record, Virgo, very detail oriented, Earth sign, likes to get results, can really analyze down to the detail, but can be viewed as being critical by other people. Rules the sixth house, which is about home and service, family, young ones, animals, your daily activities, subordinates, or co-workers. So it's to celebrate your spirituality, compassion, and sensitivity. Enjoy your love of music, dance, poetry, or other creative expressions, and be a gentle friend to those who need one. Be intuitive, the artistic, the mystic, and share your visions with the curious. She's still talking about your Pisces. Study Pisces to understand the highest potential and choose to live that, holding its flowing energy ever so lightly. This is your first step to attracting your soulmate. Get your Pisces on. Step 2, own your Pisces karma. Be careful not to be drained by others or slip into martyrdom. Like how Jesus Christ was martyred. Don't slip into martyrdom or even feeling sorry for yourself or making everything about you. With the North Node in Virgo, your karma is around the pursuit of spirit, compassion, and emotion. At the expense of your emotional health in the past, you may find it difficult to discern what's good for you and what's not. Do you have trouble saying no? Do you fall for hard luck stories? So you want to avoid being taken advantage of. In past lifetime, you were an empath. That's a person who just takes in everybody's emotions, or a psychic healer, a dancer, an artist, a musician, or an addict. Because you have to be very careful with Pisces, because Neptune and Pisces, especially in the 8th house, but we'll get there. Because you could really get in drugs, alcohol. You might have also been a martyr who was sacrificed or persecuted by others. Think an early Christian or a witch. You may have been a very sensitive woman whose sensitivity has much to bear, or a devoutly religious figure living in solitude. So the Divine Mother definitely let me know she's very interested in this natal chart. Maybe the entire reading, but definitely this side, the left side, but maybe the entire chart. I don't know yet. But two things I noticed when I went downstairs. Because like I said, if you know how this house is arranged, there's no way I can be right at a certain spot at a certain time by the window and see something. But we recently had some people move in this neighborhood, and they bring in a hood to the area. It's a little suburb area. So I feel the need to tell you this because of what I'm seeing. So ever since they came in, and just like I told you about that number 121, that's a twin flame thing. My twin flame, her higher self. So she definitely be pointing these people out all the time. I don't know their name when I'm like that, because they just came in here. But since they came, they just anybody been listening to my thing. But just bring in the hood. Anything you see in the hood, you're gonna see ever since they got here. So it's just a lot of stuff been happening since they got here. But if you want to see, I talk about portals and stuff like that, because I know when there's portals, you usually start seeing a lot of police. Whenever I see portals, I start seeing more and more police activity and crimes being committed and people getting arrested. So the police activity has greatly increased. Now yesterday, the woman was in the house, but she's got all these little kids, and they be outside, but they be little kids. Like they really, they little. Like one girl, she might be like maybe 4 or something, 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't even think she's 5. But they all out there, and they be in the street. So she came and she yelled, stay in the driveway. Stay, basically telling them stay in the yard, don't be in the street. But you know how kids are. They're going to go, yeah, but then they're going to go right back because they get tempted. Anybody that's ever been little, you know what it's like, because you want to be riding your bike, riding the scooter. They got an electric scooter. You don't want to be in no driveway and no backyard. So just by somebody yelling at you, telling you stay in the street, you ain't going to do it. So yesterday, them cops came up that street fast as I don't know what. I've been in this neighborhood a long time. I've never seen that much police activity. And we had a lot of people come and go. These ain't the first people that moved in that brought the hood in. We've had gangsters up in here. We had the blue and the reds up in here at the same time. We had all kind of crazy, but they come and go. So then, after the cops were rushing up the street, like 2 different cop cars, you know, she came out and looked up the street again. And then I think she told them kids, make sure you stay in the yard. But that's only that day, because you know how kids are. So there are dangers, because she needs somebody out there older watching those kids or something. Even an older kid, you know, they usually have an older kid, but she wasn't out there. So when you're reading, when they put my address up there, then I knew, and then a whole lot of shit. There was the numerology, even that date. That's a supernatural date, because that's when the UFO happened in Stephenville, Texas. There was a lot of stuff happening as far as my calling, which is all this intuition and stuff. So she did that. The Divine Mother did that for a reason. But see, being in Maryland, that's Mary's land. That's ISIS land. Mary is just another name for ISIS. Like the Caucasians, they stole everything and tried to change it. But that's ISIS. So again, I'm downstairs minding my own business. Keep in mind, it's kind of dark outside, a little dark because it was a rainy day all day because we got this storm coming in. And I don't even like opening up the blinds too much. I do sometimes, but it just be too much stuff going on. So I do what I do. So the blind was like halfway cracked, and I happened to look, and then there was a cop car out there, just like really, just in the street, but right there. Cause like I said, you got a lot of stuff going on now that these people came through. This ain't the first time we had this stuff going on though. But you start seeing fast sales, you start seeing cars coming through, and you'll see like gang members. Cause I went out there early one morning, and it was like, dude was in a car, it was all red. It was all red car, and if you know the gang life, you know what that is. And then he had, so they staring at you because they want in. It's just a mentality. So to see that cop just like that, you don't know why because you don't see him no other time. Now all of a sudden you're seeing cops. But all the time the cops come through don't have nothing to do with them. Some of it probably or maybe do, but ever since they came in, it's just portals. That's all I'm gonna try to tell you. I've seen this over and over again. You see portals, and when you start seeing portals, you start seeing a lot of criminal activity. Cause like you got spirits going in and out of those portals and stuff. So this is what the Divine Mother wanted me to talk about. Now I wasn't gonna really speak on it, but having your Pisces in the 8th house, that's why I have to speak on it. And then when I looked out the back door again, then it's a mockingbird, and those are very mystical, spiritual birds. Is the mockingbirds. And if you don't know about a mockingbird, they can mock anything. If they hear a sound, they can imitate it. Car alarm, beater, you name it. If they hear the sound, they can mock it and sound just like it. Like if they heard your mom's call you, they could mock it if they wanted to, cause they do any sound. Just like a parrot be talking, but a mockingbird can hear any sound and mock it, imitate it. So then I looked out on the porch and it was just sitting there like on a, you know how you got deck railings, and when you got a railing, like we got a deck, so you have a deck railing, and you can walk up, hold your hands on the deck, but then they got those like round things on the deck for I guess decoration. But you go like palm it in your hand. Yeah, it really is like a crystal ball, and that mockingbird was on top of it. So I still was gonna keep it to myself until I saw you got Pisces and Scorpio, because that's all that supernatural psychic stuff, different dimensions, different worlds, all that's in the 8th house with Scorpio. So I think Mama wanted to tell you that for whatever reason. All right. Give me a moment. Now we go back. You may have, in a past life, you may have been a very sensitive woman whose sensitivity was too much to bear, or a devoutly religious figure living in solitude. Because a lot of times when a divine mother calls you, she will put you in solitude. She's had me in solitude for a while. There's a good video I have. Her name is Nokia, Princess Nokia. On my channel, Real Life and Metaphysics, you'll see it. Princess Nokia is very beautiful. Before she got her calling, she was out there. She was the party life, everything, the sex, the drugs, the party life, being sexy. She was all of that until she got that calling, and then she knew how important solitude was. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like you can't really do a lot of shit, because you don't have to be a Christian to believe everything, but there is like temptation. There is positive energy and negative energy. And the more you try to get to the positive energy, or the more you try to fulfill your calling, the more you get temptation. And it will be like you open up your door or something. Like for me, open up the door, it'll be females right there. Some of us even stand by the window and shit. But it's all temptation. And because that's what happened with David. That's why I'm telling you that shit is real. Because he went out on his roof because he couldn't get to sleep. Next thing you know, he's took a man's wife, raped her, had sex. Killed the man to cover up what he did with his wife, because he got the wife pregnant. So he killed her husband. So it just started raining when I said all that. Raining real kind of hard. So all that shit happened quick. So for whatever it's worth, because now she's talking about solitude. So a lot of times I just leave the blinds down, because I just know. Like I only had the blind half cracked, and now I got to talk about the cop saying what was he sitting out there for? Because ain't nobody even on the street right now, and that's what I'm saying. It's almost raining. It is raining now, but before it was just real dark. But whatever happened yesterday, because they came down the street fast, but they went all the way up the street, and I came to the door and looked out, and they just jumped out the car and was like running. I don't know what, because there's a highway at the end of the street going eastward. I don't know where they was running to. But you could tell whatever it was serious by the way they was moving. So whatever it was, and see, somebody got murdered on my street at that same location, like right up at the end of the street. See, all this is eighth house stuff, portals and all that stuff, drugs and gangsters and all that shit is eighth house. So Mama wanted to tell you that for whatever it's worth. So now, on the shadow side of the North Node in Virgo is a tendency to sacrifice yourself and your own needs over another. It also means having an overdeveloped capacity to absorb another's sorrow and blur personal boundaries. So in other words, like you giving so much to a person, you're giving so much to a person or a cause that you actually give up yourself. And then you got that social stuff, which could be militant too, because Leo could be that. See, also we're gonna check out your fifth house, because Leo rule your fifth house. But a lot of times it's that militant, that social reform and all that stuff. No freedom, justice, equality, no peace, no justice. But you can get taken out. Like, you just gotta learn. Like I tell everybody, because I made that same mistake when I was younger. You think you're going into a right cause. You think you're getting into a right cause, but as long as you're around imperfect people, anything can happen. And the people you think you're being loyal to, they be the very same people that sell you out or lead you to believe something that ain't true for their own reasons. So what she's trying to tell you is don't put yourself in that position. So she says, step 3. These are all the steps to attract your soulmate. 1, appreciate your psychic, your Pisces talents. Own your Pisces karma. Number 3, step into your Virgo soul mission. This is your true North Node. Learn how to say no, she says to people. And again, this is the soulmate.com North Node in Virgo. So if anybody said, where's he at? Right now, you could go to a search engine, Yahoo search, right? The soulmate site, SIT, North Node in Virgo. And it should come up. Click the link and you'll be right here. So to step into your Virgo soul mission, say no. Get healthy. Get organized. And she says, wear orange, because orange is your soul color. Virgo takes what it believes in and makes it a tangible profession or a plan. Discriminating and industrious, Virgo wants to practically serve others, especially in the area of health or healing. Virgo is physically fit and health aware and has a refined sense of aesthetics. She loves neatness and organization and immerses herself in the details until everything is as perfect as can be. In past Pisces lifetime, you didn't develop a separateness from others. You were able to connect to the unseen, extend unending compassion, and sacrifice your life for your faith. With North Node in Virgo, it is imperative that you take care of your physical health, establish good boundaries, and mind the details. A Virgo soul mission tends towards service to others without sacrifice. So hold back a bit when you first meet someone. When you do meet someone who fills you up with energy and protects your gentle ways, first, don't hesitate, then to get to know them. You are not to sacrifice yourself to anyone for love. Learn how to say no and make sure your beloved knows and respects your limits. Funny thing, the more you put Pisces aside in favor of your own needs, this is when you will have the energy you need to help others. In other words, if you follow your South Node energy, which is Pisces in 8th house, you're going to burn yourself out. But if you put the Virgo energy first, then everything will work itself out. Because that's what you're not supposed to be doing. You're not following you're not supposed to follow your South Node in this life. It's your true North Node. But your true North Node is also affected with your possessions and finances. Because that's what your second house is all about. Ruled by Taurus. So your health, or you may be connected somewhat financially, would be for health reasons, home reasons. You might have daily activities or service that gets you income. Even something with children might get you income. Children, animals, daily activity. But now you want to know about that retrograde. Saturn retrograde. We're going to take the Saturn retrograde in Virgo. And again, certain things that sometimes they're hard to find online, so that's why it takes so long. And again, I'll be trying to get the second opinion. Because it's a spirit. What people have to understand is that everything is spirit. And if one person gives the same definitions to every natal chart they do, they get the same. Oh, that's Virgo in the second. That means, but the spirit might want you to say something else. So that's why I do what I do. Like, I'm a very high intuitive person, and I know what I'm doing. And you got to just get to the point where you follow your intuition and stop worrying about what everybody thinks. Because as long as you worry about what everybody thinks, you're never going to grow spiritually. Saturn retrograde in Virgo. And when they don't want to do it that way, you can do Saturn retrograde in the signs. Let's see what happens. And when it still doesn't want to do that, You say Saturn retrograde in the houses. One of them that's trying to tell you is wizard.com or members.wizard.com. Let me just see. Members.wizard.com. All right. So they look like they're going to answer the question. I can't guarantee it. I got to look at it. I'm going to put this on pause. I'll be back. Now, about that mockingbird, got to remember the divine feminine always deals with birds. You have Morrigan. That's her name. Morrigan is a divine female. And she deals with crows and ravens. A lot of the divine feminines deal with any black bird, a crow or a raven. Then the owl as well. And even a mockingbird is a very mystical bird. All right, so just give me a second. So we're dealing with Saturn retrograde, but we want it specifically. Because let me say retrograde. This is in the chart. Saturn represents all authority figures, rules and regulations, discipline beginning with the father, teachers, old people, men, karma, and life's test. If Saturn is retrograde in the birth chart, it indicates an absent father and a problem with self-doubt. Right, so this is where we're going to start at in that area. But he does Saturn in the second house, but he doesn't do Saturn retrograde in the second house. And we'll note what he said, but we just don't want to go in yet. So you might have health problems that cost you money, because Saturn retrograde is really like a lack of discipline or a lack of order. Saturn direct is discipline, order, like he said, an employer, a father, somebody who's causing, in the ideal sense of the word, causing order, discipline. But when it's Saturn retrograde is, lack of authority, or you're not listening to authority. Authority's talking to you, but you ain't listening. All right, so now I want to share something with y'all. Getting back to these birds, but y'all gotta really listen because I'm trying to teach y'all something. I told you I used to do, years ago in the 1980s, I used to be a garbage man. But we was a garbage man in a real rich, it was a real, like, it was a mixture. It was like a rich white neighborhood, but also had a lot of rich Jewish people in there. And then you had like what you would call higher middle class white people in there. But either way, we treated them people like gods. That was a job for the township. So they treated, I say we because I had to do it. I had to go get the garbage. But they didn't have, and this is the 80s. This is long before all this recycling and all that. And everybody else would have to put their cans on the curb, and the garbage truck would pull up and dump the cans. But not them. They left their cans in the yard. You had to roll a big green barrel up in their yard and dump all that garbage in their barrels, and then roll it back to the cans, which was crazy. But that's how it is. That's how white privilege. So that was my job. So now I'm gonna give you two occurrences. So I need y'all to listen because I'm trying to show you. This is the vibe I'm getting with this whole reading. Just as soon as it started, the vibe, everything is going on. And give me 1 minute. I'm trying to do something. And so one time, so I was going to this one house, but you really gotta listen because it's the same house. I think it's called Judith Court. Judith Court, which that name may even mean something. Because you know what, the little white girl that told me I was gonna be a preacher when we was little kids, some little white girl, like white females with blonde hair throughout my life, different ones, but they always give me like spiritual messages, like no, I'm not like I've always been like a type of preacher or whatever, so they've known it, like just crazy shit. This is some metaphysical stuff I'm trying to teach, but it's important because I think it has something to do with this reading. Give me 1 second. I'm typing in Judith Court. But it was right. Like Judith Court was different. It was just different. Like you had different neighborhoods, and like y'all are used to seeing stuff like that. Like newer heads are used to saying that. But many years ago, you didn't always see like a neighborhood with a totally brand new neighborhood built into it. Not around here. I'm representing Jersey, so that this was like a newer neighborhood that was built in. And all this stuff has to do with past life and messages from where you're really from, and it's messages from the reality, because we're actually in the matrix. Like you're not just flesh, you're really spirit. So everything you're in is a matrix, and you're being contained. Your spirit is being contained in your flesh while you're awake. Some people know how to astral plane. So this is what it was. Like it's hard to explain it, but it was one neighborhood, but all of a sudden it broke off into something else. Like it was a totally different neighborhood, but it was still in the same neighborhood, but it broke off, and it was like a circle dead end. Like it wasn't a drive-through neighborhood, but it was a court, like they called it a court, a circle court. So it was one house that, like, as soon as you entered, that would be the first house you would do, because like it was the first house that was there. And I had just some supernatural experiences at the house. This is what I mean about portals. And so one of those times, it was 2 times, but they have a bug. I forget the name of the bug, but this bug, Alkea, something like that. It's a funny bug. But what happens is it comes out of its flesh. It'll make a loud ass noise, and it'll come out of the flesh and just leave the flesh there. So you'll see the flesh of the bug. It looks like this ACAIACA. I don't know. That might not be it. I don't know. But I think it does start with 8 though, but I'm not sure. So we would see them bugs all the time, and they scream, and they come out of that. They'll come out and just fly away, but their whole body will be laying on the ground, just a shell now, because it just came out. But this is what I'm trying to teach you about portals and ascension and I don't really do astral planning, but I hear people talk about it. Bug that leaves its, should I say shell? I don't want to say shell, because they're gonna think I'm bug that leaves his body. There he goes. I think that's it. But they fly and everything. But they were big bugs, and they could be intimidating. They really could, because these were some big ass bugs. And it's a body shell. I think that, I'm looking at it. Oh, that's it. Cicada. I was close. Cicada. Yeah, that's them. And they make a lot of noise and shit. Now, why am I telling you that? I seen, because one time I seen one come out of the shell. It's horrible, but they be screaming real loud. So I'm not gonna put that bug up in here in this video, but it's Cicada. Now, I'm minding my own business, so I'm getting ready to go to the first house. I just turned on Jude. I know it's like Judith Court, because it's kind of like you're leaving the street, you turn on Judith Court, but then you gotta make another turn. But I think the whole thing is considered Judith Court, if I'm not mistaken. So I was going to this house, and as I was going to this house, one of them bugs like really flew up on me to like to attack. This is no lie. So I'm looking at this joint. Cause out there you be like out in the wilderness, even though it's neighborhoods and stuff like, but you know, dogs will run up on you sometime, and you better have your barrel. And I thank God, because I think how many times I should have got bit. Because some of these times the dogs wouldn't be on leashes and shit. And sometimes you be out there, to still be pitch black dark. And you, like, really, you could get shot. There was a couple of times people they was like, who are you? What are you doing in my yard and shit? So that's a dangerous job for those reasons. And so this bug just flew up. So I'm looking at it. And I don't know what to do, because like I'm like, this is a crazy ass bug. Because how many times is like a bug, but they're big. They're not no small ass bug. How many times does a bug really fly up on you like that? Not too often. I mean, sometimes. So this is no lie. That bug was flying. I didn't know what to do. I was just looking at it. Because I'm saying, how am I going to swat it? Am I going to hit it with my barrel, or what am I going to do with this bug? And so it was a bird across at the next house, across the street. And the bird so happened, this is no lie, that bird flew off that roof, came to that bug, and just ate it. And you heard the bug screaming inside of the bird's mouth as the bird flew off. Now that was either a real bird or an angel, I don't know. But I got a lot of experiences like that. Now, same house. This is a totally different time period. Same house. And I was broke. Like financially, I had no money whatsoever. And I was going to the same house. Keep in mind, totally different time period, but it's the exact same house. In front of that house, I find $20 bill. And back then, I was a Jehovah's Witness. And I've always, like, if I'm something, I give 100% to everything I'm a part of. So I really believe in total honesty and stuff like that. So Jehovah's Witnesses had a teaching. I'm not saying they followed it, but they had a teaching that if you find any money, you have to walk around to see anybody around if they dropped it. But it wasn't nobody around. It wasn't nothing. So I just knocked on the door. And the dude could have lied to me. I just knocked on the door. I said, did anybody in this house lose $20? He like, no. It's just, I kept it. So these are just things I'm talking about, the spirit realm and the glory of God and stuff like that. But I just I was moved to say that based on what I'm seeing with the mockingbird on the porch and all that shit. Because the mockingbirds have protected me too from some robins. Some robins had moved onto this property and wouldn't leave. And they were very, very mean. They were trying to fight me. I couldn't come outside. The robins were throwing a fit. But I'm a little older now, a little wiser. So I prayed. I just let God handle it. And then sure enough, this is no lie. And the last story I'll give on the birds. The morning I had to go out there because I had to cut hedges, and they had birds. They had their nests in the hedges, so they were very protected. And usually robins are nice birds, but these particular robins was evil. They even looked evil. They were like evil ass birds. I was out there duking it out with the husband and the wife, and then they had a teenage son. He was just watching, but the husband and wife they were going to defend that kid. So I heard when the mockingbirds kicked them out because I was in the room. And there was a big fight with the mockingbirds that came and kicked them birds out. Because the mockingbirds are very territorial. And they know if you live there. And they'll protect. But I've always had a good experience with mockingbirds. So the day I was to come out there and cut the hedges. As I came outside, 4 mockingbirds came. And just like the military would do. They took every street. Like anything around my house. Any street around my house. They literally landed, and they wouldn't let no birds come through the whole time I was out there. They wouldn't let no birds come through. See, these are all true stories. So, God is real, spirit is real. And, because a lot of people, they don't believe it. And then they get themselves caught up in a lot of shit they don't need to get caught up in. So, that's the message I'm hearing. Like, it's coming strong. You got to understand when I'm doing this, I have people talk. Like, I had one person's mother come through as I was doing the reading. A certain song kept coming in my head, and I asked the person about that song. He said, that's the song my mother used to play. And he said, my mother's dead. And I've done twin flames where the other twin was trying to connect. They come through real loud. So now we're going to get back to Saturn in the second house. But we're going to do the retrograde first. Let me see. It is 3:29 p.m. September 6th, 2017. It is 12 hours and 16 minutes after the full moon. We are now in a Pisces full moon. Like this person right here is going to be having a lot of feelings, a lot of intuition, maybe even dreams and stuff like that. I just did a person's chart who's kind of unique like yours. And she's going through a whole lot now because of that Pisces moon. So if you want to hear that, that chart is out there as well. It'll probably be right before yours on Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. That it'll have inheritance in the title, because anything in the 8th house is going to deal with inheritances, other people's money and inheritances. All right, Saturn retrograde. So this is the second social planet. So they really wanted you to be social because Jupiter is the first social planet and Saturn is the second. But they both of yours are retrograde. So you might be going into a little bit of isolation. One of the two social planets, Saturn, slows everything down. But in retrograde, it can be a tough task maker. It can make us work harder. Because they told you it's going to be hard for you to really get the possessions. The reason being, because Mama's trying to make you be more spiritual. Mama's trying to get you. When I say Mama, that's the divine feminine, the creator of all things. If you don't believe a woman created everything, read Proverbs chapter 8. That's all you have to do is read Proverbs chapter 8. Let the Bible talk to you. Stop letting Protestant religions and all these lying religions tell you about a man all the time. If you read Proverbs chapter 8, it tells you, and it's not a personification because she's all throughout the Bible. For anybody that wants more information, go to the spiritual channel. All I have is tons and tons and tons of Bible study and proof to prove that the woman is God. The divine feminine. The pagans are right on that one. And ironically, right now I'm on paganspath.com. All right. So Saturn retrograde can make us work harder and take longer to think things through for both our actions or the events occurring around us. There are no shortcuts during this time period, and detailed plans should not be rushed. Take time to breathe and do things right the first time. Issues with authority may be in the forefront during the retrograde. So that means that if that Saturn retrograde is like the man in your life or some type of authority figure in your life, he might be trying to tell you how to spend money, but you're probably not going to listen. So you may have a problem with savings. But I'm still digging deeper. Working on legal matters such as contracts or deals may be delayed. Deadlines may be extended and you may find yourself working on something you thought you already completed. Now it gets into the past life. If Saturn is retrograde in your chart, you may always be in conflict with authority. But I'm just keeping it 100. But see, yours is in the second house, so it's going to be money and possession stuff. Authority. You may feel persecuted by your boss or upper management. Remember, Saturn rules Capricorn. Capricorn rules your 10th house of employment and finances. But you should never. The one thing I don't know, I don't work for nobody that owes me money. That's something I get. So never work for somebody. Don't do that. I mean, you got to make your own choices. If you really think they're going to pay up. But to me, that's just foolish. Why would you keep working for somebody that owes you money? They've already shown you that they don't care. Like, we got bills to pay. So why would I keep working for somebody that owes you money? You may feel persecuted by your boss or upper management. Or you may abuse your own authority. See, the one thing I'm going to keep drilling, and this is what I'm trying to do. See, when you understand the divine feminine, that's why there's a scripture in Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, about growing wings. And a lot of women resonate with that scripture. And I never knew why until I understood metaphysics. Because again, the divine feminine, the angels, the feathers and everything. Even when you're in church and people start getting hit with the spirit, if you notice, a lot of women start spreading their arms like wings, and they start arching their back like they got wings. And that's because of the past life or where they're really from. Because again, we're learning more and more about the Bible, and we know there are fallen angels here. There are fallen angels here. And that's in the Bible too. All that's on the spiritual channel though. But what I'm trying to tell you, when you realize that, and don't think, see, these devils got you believing everything. Just because it's a fallen angel does not mean they're going to be redeemed. That's in the scriptures. That's why the Bible's always talking about birds and fowls, F-O-W-L and all that. If you notice, right after Babylon the Great is destroyed, and that's the captor of God's real people. Revelation 17, Babylon the Great is destroyed, burnt with fire. Then all of a sudden he starts talking about spirits again and fowls, and he uses the word F-O-U-L, but God plays on words, and that's where rappers get it from. Like they say Grandmaster, God says Grandmaster in the Bible, and the rappers say they didn't know the time. God says they didn't know the time in the Bible because they're showing you the connection. It's not that difficult. So you understand, you see spirits in Revelation 18 after Revelation 17 is destroyed, and you see fowls and birds and angels all in Revelation 18. Because these are angels that will be redeemed. They did fall, but they will be redeemed. And then in Revelation 19, you see it again. The angel comes into the sun. Why? Because the sun is the Savior. That's why they call Jesus the day star, the S-U-N of righteousness. Malachi chapter 4. And he has healing wings. See, he's talking about those angels, healing wings, because he's going to say those angels. And so these women that are attracted to that scripture, because that speaks of when they were angels, and they're going to get that back. That's what redemption means. And if you stay in church long enough, if you ever go into church and you see women getting hit with that spirit, they start arching up like birds. That used to bug me out. I will watch that. And see, people don't want you asking no questions because I study everything. So I would want to go up to them and say, why did you arch your right? And they did, but then people get offended. But now I know why. So what we're trying to tell you in this study is that the he that calling, because we don't have to rely on the world. You rely on spirit. If you do what spirit tells you to do, needs will be taken care of. But what happens sometimes, we're materialistic, so needs aren't good enough. So because we want more than needs, that's how we get ourselves in trouble. So it says that Saturn retrograde could even mean that if you have a position of authority, you may abuse it. You're going to have difficulty in setting limits or determining the limits of others around you. You may have problems with voicing your opinions to those in authority, therefore allowing yourself to be victimized. So that's the second time we've heard that. With your Virgo True North node, they said be careful you're not victimized because of your past life for Pisces, and now you're hearing it again. Don't allow yourself to be victimized. Never, never, never continue working for anyone who owes you money. Out here in Jersey, we have hours and wages. And sometimes you have to let people know that I'm smart, highly intelligent. I know who to contact on your punk ass if you think you're going to get away with something. And when they start to realize that you're not a dummy, you start to get a little bit more respect. Because it's all business. When you're working for somebody, it's business. The time. I don't know what the law is in other states. But in New Jersey, if your payday is Friday, you have every right to have your check in your hand on Friday. So if they tell you, no, don't come to the company, we'll mail out your check. But if they're giving out their checks on Friday, you have every right to go in there and get your check. I mean, that supersedes the law. Even if they tell you stay off the property, they are lawfully bound to give you your check on Friday. If they're handing out checks to everybody else on Friday, you have a lawful right to have your check on Friday. You don't have to wait till Monday. But of course, they'll make you wait if you don't stand up for yourself. So what happens is, let's say, that person got fired. They got fired on Wednesday, so they can come on a property. Well, then it's their legal obligation to make sure that check goes in the mail Friday. Or you could call and say, okay, I won't come in, but I'm sending somebody else in to pick up my check. I need that check. It's the law. And they have to listen to the law. So you got to learn how to fight. Like if you don't, you might be a fighter already. But so far, that's what everybody says. I'm only going by what the reading's saying. Now, from a past life experience, you may have had a lifetime in an abusive situation, either as the victim or the abuser. You may have been a prisoner, enslaved, or you may have once been. Sometimes when you don't hear me read it, it's not because I don't know how to read. They miss some words, so I have to stop and go back. You may have been a prisoner, enslaved, or you may I have to put in have. Or you may have once been an abusive ruler. Along these situations, you were probably immensely impatient. And it's kind of funny because the second house, well, he doesn't know this is going on in your second house. But the second house is ruled by Taurus, and Taurus is supposed to be patient. Along these situations, you were probably immensely impatient, looking for an easy way out of being abused, or looking to make your life easier by making others do even the simplest of tasks for you. To overcome these lessons, you must learn the lesson of patience. And maybe that's why they put it in the second house with Taurus energy, because Taurus is patient. Of patience and the accountabilities of being a leader. If you feel abuse, let me just stop right here. Now, right now, your first and second house, especially your second house, is always connected to your eighth house one way or another. But with Capricorn there, or Saturn, who rules Capricorn, your second house is always connected to your 10th house. See, so some people don't even realize sometimes your job is actually a spiritual location. And your job is a portal as well. And a lot of people you work with are your soul groups and soul families. To explain it really quick, everything is one. The reality is everything is one. Everything is God. Everything is spirit. Everything came from God. But when spirit wants to come into a physical world, it has to create a soul. So think of that soul as a pizza. And the pizza has 8 slices. So everybody on that pizza is a soul family or a soul group. And even a soul mate, just like a shipmate. Now, 7 pieces get cut. They get sent down into the 3rd dimensional world. But that 8th piece, they cut it in half. Now they're twin souls. That's the difference. You can have tons of soulmates, but you can only have one twin soul. And that's also your twin flame. Same thing. If you feel abused, hold those in authority accountable for their actions. If you can learn to constructively voice your concerns and opinions, the rewards will be great. You will be able to take control in this part of your life and in the cycle of victimization. If you are abusing your authority, you must learn to respect those around you. Rather than continuing with an unrestrained lifestyle, focus on making plans, setting strategy, and working hard on your own task. Now we go back to this just to see what he says. See, Saturn in the second house, if it's direct, but yours isn't direct, yours is retrograde. But this will be a person who has kind of like a grip on their finances. They might even be a little frugal. They might really try to set standards, limits on purchases. But when that Saturn is retrograde, this person will have a problem with money. And so you got Jupiter retrograde. So all this is indicating that you could be having a lot and expanding. You're going to have a problem with that. And they said you will get it later in life, but you may not get it in the beginning because the universe is trying to get you to be more spiritual. So you want to keep those things in mind. I already used a word that I'm going to try to check out. Unworthy of serious attention. But that's not the word I want. I want the other word. That was frivolous. I don't want that word. I want lavish. Immoderate. Bestowed, occurring in profusion. Expended. Alright, just give me a second. I'll look this word up. Unworthy of serious attention. No, I did it again. Oh, come on, man. Alright, now let me look at this again. Alright. We'll leave that one alone. It's just not enough evidence. Alright. Give me 1 minute. I gotta take care of this real quick. Now we will continue. Third house. This is Gemini and there's a relationship. Well, Libra. So this is a relationship-minded person. But here's the deal. Gemini deals with short travel, short communication. Well, it's communication, short travel. Your siblings, your surroundings, creativity, younger education, earlier education, so to say. That's the better word, earlier education. Multitasking, and it is the twins, the Gemini twins. And of course, Libra rules the 7th house of relationships, partnerships, contracts, agreements. It can deal with enemies as well. So anything in Gemini usually is going to have issues. Because Gemini is like the immature stage of a relationship, especially for twin flames. The breakup, makeup, the arguing. And then you had a Pluto retrograde, so we got to really look at that. Give me a second. Alright. That just happened. Give me one moment. Okay, if I didn't say, you also get a free report, and on it is everything you can learn about astrology, as well as the archangels, how they tie in with astrology. Anytime you get an archangel card reading or a tarot card reading, it's going to point you back to your natal chart. That's why, in my honest opinion, the most wisest thing you can do is get your natal chart, especially by somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't just get any natal chart, because that's just a waste. That's silly. That's like you trying to protect your house and you buy like some cheap ass pop gun or something. All right. So so like I said, you want your third house. You want that relationship. You want that relationship, and you want to do things with people, and you know that whole thing. You want that partnership, even with your creativity. You want that partnership feel, but only because it's Gemini. It tends to it doesn't. It's not stable. These they together one minute, not together the next, or that's why the Gemini perfect duality. One's black, one's white, and all that. They're not always gonna get along. They complement each other, but they don't always get along. But your third house, because of the arrangement, is a relationship house. So that's what you're really interested in. Because Libra's going to dominate. Libra makes your third house. It was already going to be somewhat of a duality house with Gemini, but once Libra stepped in, it totally made it a relationship house. So what you're really looking for in this house is Pluto retrograde and Libra. And whenever I do this, I go looking online. I'm looking for what I ask them to find. I'm not trying to figure it out. I want them to tell me because that's what I asked them to do. And if not, then we have to find. That's what we've been doing so far. If they don't show us online, then we find a way. But really, you want somebody who's going to tell you Pluto retrograde in Libra. All right, now this is insightful psychic. So let's just see what they say. Come on, beat it. All right, all of a sudden you gotta come over here with this silly stuff. It's not my fault. They keep putting up this stupid thing that has no X. Like this box came up and messed everything up. All right, we'll try it again. It just keeps coming. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Just give me a moment. Beat it. And it's causing everything to freeze. So give me a second. I'm gonna try to copy this and get it off this page, this website, because this website keeps putting stuff up and blocking everything. And it's messing everything up. So I'm trying to put it on my own Word document, and then I can look at it. when Pluto, see, that's my point. When Pluto retrograde is in your birth chart, issues surrounding control and power come to the forefront. So that's because that's the 8th house. Pluto rules Scorpio. Scorpio rules the 8th house. And power struggles, control issues all come through. But we're going to keep looking at it. This is often, and that's how relationships break up, because they're not working together. They're challenging each other. And that's why I said even in the 2nd house, you can kind of see it. Because that Saturn wants authority. They're like, hey, we can't be spending money like this and blah, blah, blah. And then it gets challenged. There is often a feeling of lack in the personality of devaluing one's own talents with this influence. As a result, you may find yourself in situations where you feel manipulated or taken advantage of. So they keep saying it. Like almost every house we walk in, it keeps coming back to being taken advantage of. There can be an overt fear of rejection from others, or you could be living a double life where the public and private spheres don't match. And that's the vibe I was getting to. As you were unable to reconcile the conflicting perceptions you have of yourself. If the abuse of power is not observed, this could possibly lead to self-destructive tendencies, using your own power to destroy others and ultimately yourself. You receive a wake-up call only when life seems so difficult that you're forced to reevaluate your priorities, or when something deep inside propels you to take action. Well, Pluto retrograde is going to fuck you up externally. Bam! Loss of job, bad car accident, or you're living somewhere, burns down, or you can't live there no more. That's Pluto retrograde, because it's forcing you to change inside. That's why I said sometimes even your place of employment could actually be the place they're going to use to really mess you up. Because that's what happened to me, getting fired. So it messes you up inside, but that's how it makes you reevaluate who you are inside. Because that retrograde is all about your past life, and insides. I mean, it could be past. It could just be past like 5 years ago, 10 years, but it could also be past life. So Pluto can indicate changes in the personal level, internal level, or social and political levels. Pluto's retrograde is also a time of destruction and rebuilding, rejuvenation and regeneration. All this stuff we'll talk about in the 8th house, because Pluto rules Scorpio, Scorpio rules the 8th house. We may be forced to reevaluate the things we value most. See, that's like after a real bad breakup in a relationship. But once that happens, they can start to mature to the Sagittarius energy. Pluto, the planet of regeneration and transformation, we may be forced to reevaluate our priorities or the things we value most in life. Tearing down and destroying the old, it also rejuvenates and builds new structures. This period helps us to bring to light the dark psyches of ourselves, the secret skeletons with which we'd rather keep hidden in the closet. New beginnings, and that's what we're in right now. So you're gonna go through it, because remember, your Pisces is in the 8th house. That's Scorpio and Pluto, and right now the moon is in Pisces, and this moon is all about a reset, a restart. It started with the solar eclipse, August 21st last month, and now this moon, this full moon in Pisces is all about the reset. New beginnings almost always accompany Pluto retrograde periods as well. The things that we hang on to most tightly can suddenly be taken away without warning. But this is ultimately for the better, as it builds inner strength and resilience. And that's what the book of Job is all about. God took everything. God allowed Satan and that negative energy to take everything. All right. So they're doing it to you again in your 4th house. Whenever you see Scorpio in the 4th house, it's going to be soul families. So that's going to be interesting. Now, I'm just letting you know that round circle with the X in it, that's part of fortune. But all part of fortune really does is amplify. If it's part of fortune in Scorpio, it's going to amplify Scorpio. Whatever Scorpio's energy is, it's going to do that. If it's part of fortune in the 4th house, It's going to amplify that, which I'm getting ready to explain what's in the 4th house. And I'm going to look real quick. I'm just doing this for my own self. Part of fortune conjunct Uranus. And see, they may give it to me. I might even have it. Give me a second. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Alright, so here's part of fortune. Now I want to see if it says Uranus. I think it does. Alright. Yes, it does. So we're going to look at that too. Alright. So just really quick. So this is all a soul family. Like even your family that you're with now. Soul family. But that's usually really dysfunctional and all kind of crazy shit. That's anything. My family's fucked up. So don't think I'm pointing at signaling out anybody, because my family was fucked up. But it's all soul families and stuff. These are all people you knew in past lives and all kind of crazy shit. Ooh. Alright, give me a moment. I want to check one thing out, because I haven't checked it out in a while, so I want to go there now and see what's going on. Yep. Alright, give me this. Give me a second. To God be glory, good day, yes, I am parent. I'm married to Lake Miss Renee. Jobs, new jobs, QBBBs. I don't know who this guy is. No, I had a spam thing. I ain't checked forever, so. Oh, look at this. Free angel, pink rosary. Oh, see, my twin is always sending me pink rose. In fact, those people that moved in, when they first moved there, one of the people put a pink rose in my yard and shit. And the only reason why I saw it was my car had got totaled. That's that Pluto retrograde. My car had got totaled, so I had a different car. I had just brought it, so I was out there looking at it. But I was in the grass because the grass hadn't got cut yet. But I was out there in the car. At the car, I said, what's that rose? I said, who put that rose in my yard? And it was a pink rose. So one of the people that just moved in, them thugs, one of the people put that rose in my yard and shit. All right, so give me a second. I just got to get some stuff out of here. I want to say. Free angel pink rosary. I just want to look at it. Here's this Catholic email. Pink angel rose. But it's kind of funny how wasn't I just talking to you about roses and shit? And then this comes in a thing. I told you. So you got to understand. We can't be limited. Because everything is going on in soul connections and soul families. It don't matter where you at. Because at the end of the day, you ain't nowhere. You're one. And that's when you know you really understand this shit. You're not sitting somewhere. You're not in the state. You're not in the state. You're only there if you believe that shit. Because you're in a fucking matrix. But at the end of the day, you're one. And that's why you got some type of connection. That whole Mary, Maryland, the Moors, Morrigan, the goddess with the birds, and the angel, the pink rosary, Mother Mary, as I told you, is Isis, and that's the rosary. And then my twin's name, in case you didn't know, is Rosa. All this shit is real. That's what's real. All right. So they tell the the pink angel rosary is $29.95, and but they'll give it to you for free, but you got to pay $7.95 for shipping. All right, give me a second. I'm seeing if I can get a picture of the rosary itself, but I don't know if I will. Pink angel rosary. Because Catholics were smart too. Like, well, I work with archangels anyway, but I know Catholics like would fill the house up with angels and stuff, and Protestants say don't do that, but the angels be helping you. Whoop! Don't be silly. Don't let superstition and some fake ass religion stop you. Alright. Like I said, you got to go with learn how to go with your intuition. If your intuition kind of leads you to it, you probably can do it. But go with that intuition. Alright. Give me one more moment. I'm just trying to get all this stuff out of here. Not spam. Then I'm going to do it again. Now they talk about some strange black oil linked to Jesus 2,000 years ago, medical miracle. This is all coming from Catholic Online. Because for some reason, I got Gmail. Gmail be sending it to my spam folder. Alright. I don't know why. Who is this? Get out of here. Alright, September comes up with positive solutions. And this dude's name is Emmanuel Sins. And he does horoscopes. I don't know where he came from. I don't know if I asked him to subscribe. I may have, because I be subscribing to a lot of stuff. Alright. I'm looking for one more thing. I saw something. I don't know what happened to it. Or the black oil. I want to look at that real quick. So they're talking about they discovered this, but they be lying. But Jesus did use oil. Just read Matthew chapter 6. I'm not saying he used it, but his apostles used it, and it was right after he sent them out. So he must have told them to use it, because it was right after Jesus sent them out in Mark 6. They was using oil to heal people. But now more, because I got my own holy oil. I getting healed too. But now, after more than 2,000 years, modern day scientists have uncovered a black, oily substance believed to be used by Jesus and the apostles. It's already confirmed at medical institutes to kill cancer cells, reverse diabetes, and has been even helped folks consider legally blind to see again. Hallelujah! Go ahead and buy it. How much they charging for it though? All right. You gotta have a little fun with this, because you could lose your freaking mind when you're into the supernatural. If you don't know how to laugh, I feel sorry for you. Alright, so I want to get rid of all of this stuff. Delete forever. There you go. Now my spam folder is caught up. Alright. Give me one more moment. Alright, so we're going back to your 4th house. Scorpio there, representing the soul family. Oh yeah, well let me just read part of fortune real quick. With Uranus. If Uranus is conjunct the part of fortune, and it is, the potency of Uranus will be enhanced. Like I said, it's an amplifier. Part of fortune is really just an amplifier. The person with this conjunction will be innovative, original, unique, and inventive. This conjunction might even indicate a potential for learning astrology. And that's really what you are. You're psychic. And that's why it's in your 4th house. This person, and you might even be with technology. That's what they're getting ready to say, because Uranus is technology too. But Uranus is also a rebel. Uranus hates authority. Like Uranus would not like common religion, or it's not going to want to be down with it. This person would also have gifts and talents when involved with scientific technologies and computers. All right. So yeah, we'll read I would love if somebody, but they're not going to touch it. You want Uranus and Scorpio in the 4th house. That's what we want, but nobody's going to touch it. But since it's not retrograde, it's a little bit easier because you can just go Uranus in the 4th house and you can go Uranus in Scorpio and get the answer you're looking for. But before we do that, we're going to have to talk about what in Scorpio rules the 8th house, so we got to talk about that. See, that's what makes me mad. But they do Saturn in Scorpio in the 4th house. So why can't they do Uranus? And I'm gonna. So I get mad. All right. Now we're gonna do Uranus and Scorpio. All right. So when we come back, we're gonna describe your 4th house, the astrological sign Scorpio, and we're gonna describe the 8th house, which Scorpio rules over, and then we're gonna go a little bit deeper with the rest of this. I'll be back. All right. And the 4th house is ruled by Cancer. Cancer is ruled by the moon. Your 4th house deals with young adult education on up into college, land and property, family, ancestors, the heart, vehicles, travel. And it deals with the Imom Coeli, which is in your subconscious mind. It's the person who raised you in a mother position in your younger years. Scorpio rules the 8th house. Now, Scorpio is about mystery, secrets, high sexuality. They can be very doubting. And once they get to know you and trust you, if you prove loyal, then they can be very loyal to you. It's a water sign, Scorpio. Cancer is also a water sign. So very watery. And definitely full moons are going to affect you, especially full moons in Pisces. Scorpio, same thing. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, but Scorpio rules the 8th house. It's about other people's money, shared resources, debt, like when you owe someone taxes, birth, death, rebirth, regeneration, resurrection. Soul matters, reincarnation, twin souls, karma, business, finance, investigation, research, doubt, suspicions, power, transformation, power struggles. Primordial activities, animalistic things, animalistic behavior, animals, enemies, drugs, alcohol, death. I already said rebirth, sex, occult, mysticism, esoteric, metaphysics, forbidden knowledge, hidden knowledge, hiding secrets, out in public one way, in secret somewhere else, Halloween, graves, creepy crawlies, ghosts, different sciences, higher sciences, different sciences, different forms of healing, innovative ways of doing things. Technology might even be there, because that's what you got with Uranus. So that's what's going on in your fourth house. And when you got Scorpio in your fourth house, it's probably a soul family. But it can come with a lot of abuse too, and dysfunctions, abuse, and even sexual situations. Now what we're going to look at is Uranus in Scorpio. Give me a moment. Uranus was in Scorpio only 7 years since the late 1800s, from September 1975 through November 1981, as well as the 5 months from October 1974 through April 1975. This is a very powerful position for Uranus, as it is exalted in the sign of Scorpio, meaning that Scorpio is Uranus' strongest, most creative sign placement, where it expresses its energy in its highest and most positive form. Your will and persistence are tremendous. You will find a way to express yourself no matter what. You could be a healer, surgeon, or a psychologist, as you are able to go deep beneath the surface into the cause of pain and disease. If your Uranus is afflicted, which it's not, you will have jealousy, envy, and possessiveness to deal with. But that's all in the 8th house anyway, brother. Whether it's afflicted or not. But I mean, you got Scorpio. That's in the 8th house. You're gonna have that anyway. All that's coming out the 8th house. Egos, power struggles, jealousy, envy, suspicions, doubt. That's all Scorpion energy. It is unwise to avoid the necessity for personal growth and regeneration. Displacement demands. It is unwise to avoid the necessity for personal growth and regeneration. Displacement demands. Which is why mommy would try to take you into solitude. Because you're not going to get that. I had to go into solitude because no way you're going to go into this world and change. Because especially like if you got positive energy, you get attacked and it doesn't stop. It's just like a magnetic attraction. For you are morally capable of the highest and the lowest behavior. Passion must be joined by compassion for you, and resentment must give way to understanding. In general, many individuals with this placement are innovative in sexual matters, anything taboo, and have insights into what makes our darker side tick. The mystic, the occult, and drugs hold your interest. The mystical, the occult, and drugs hold your interest. Uranus returns to each sign once every 84 years. Since Uranus stays 7 years in each sign, its effect in Scorpio is collective and global rather than individual. Every planet, however, including Neptune, is in a different house every 2 hours due to the Earth's daily rotation on its axis. Therefore, Uranus' position by house is very individual. Fifth house is Sagittarius. This person loves to travel. Fifth house is ruled by Leo. All that stuff about Neptune, Sagittarius, and Leo, they all are about travel, which means this person probably can astroplane. And they also deal with telepathy too. And remember that Neptune rules Pisces. So you definitely have a 4th house, 5th house, and 8th house connection. Sagittarius can be longer travels, foreign travels, culture, class, philosophy, religion. So you like travels that are going to teach you things, classy travel and stuff like that. They kind of said that about you in your 2nd house. They said this kind of person probably would like classy possessions and stuff, or antiques and stuff. Now you see that cross in the 5th house, that's a vertex. At 22, that's a twin flame number. And you see Venus. So all that's telling you that in your 5th house, you would have a significant meeting or event, or even a significant meeting, a significant event, or even a soul mate connection or breakup in the 5th house. So this is pretty much where you're going to meet your soulmate at. And again, we already said what 5th house is about. It's ruled by Leo. So when it comes to having fun and having romance type of love, this person is very idealistic. Venus brings culture as well, diplomacy, fun, and beauty, and even forgiveness, and even love. And then Capricorn is very serious. Remember, you have Saturn, which rules Capricorn in your 2nd house. So whatever Saturn energy that's in you internally, they're trying to heal it through Cancer. But you're still going to have to look into your 10th house, because Capricorn rules your 10th house. That's your career house. So Capricorn is in your 6th house for healing. It's ruled by Virgo. But it's a bit Virgo, healing, service. It could be career. Like, because Virgo deals a lot with service, even like taking care of the elderly or having a cleaning business. It does deal with service as well. And when you see Capricorn, this is home, even home cleaning. But anything, running a business from home, all that's going on. But it's also about healing. So I know for a fact they're trying to heal that retrograde. And that's why you have Virgo with Saturn retrograde. And in the 6th house ruled by Virgo, you have Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. So they're trying to heal that, which is deep in your subconscious. 7th house is this person will want to be in a relationship with somebody who's enlightened and likes to help out in the community. Vesta is helping that situation be spiritual. And this is where the person will spend most of their energy. So they have to be careful. They have to know when to take breaks, because they can get sick if they don't. So you don't want to love with so much intensity that you get sick. But they love to communicate. That's Mercury. It's their sun sign. And the sun sign, see, they want to partner with them. Like when they're on their mission and their life mission and everything, they really want to partner. So we'll learn more about that in the next chart to the right. But they really want that. Like that's what makes this person tick, is that relationship. And a person has got to be really, eager and enlightened and wanting to share that knowledge with other people. And Mars represents that energy, that moving forward energy. But see, the sun with Mars, because Mars rules Aries, and that represents the first house. And then the sun rules Leo, and the Leo is in the first house. So it's a lot going on with the Leo energy. And the funny thing about Leo and Aquarius, they oppose each other. They actually complement each other, but they oppose each other. So on her natal chart, the universe is using that Leo and Aquarius energy to make significant changes to their community around them. And then you got Charis, which is a nurturer. Now, the 8th house we've already explained, but this is going to be like a spiritual, psychic person. They're going to be a highly intuitive, but a highly psychic person. They're going to have spirituality. Now, they're going to meet somebody. This is what Juno was telling you. They're going to meet somebody who's like that, like very spiritual. And all that stuff I said about the 8th house, that person may be a lot of that. Now, this Juno is implying this person could be either Pisces or even a Scorpio. And if you notice, his sun sign is a Scorpio. It's also his ascendant. And you see the sun and Mercury, just like you see it over there. Now, once again, it goes that Aries energy again. Is in the 9th house. So once again, 9th house usually means the couple is a little bit more mature. They're not going to break up as fast as they used to. They may stop arguing over the stuff they was arguing over in the 3rd house. So there's a strong Aries energy that definitely needs to be dealt with. And that's why you see it being dealt with in the 1st house, 5th house, 7th house, and the 9th house. But also, when you have medium Coeli in the 9th house, that's usually a mentor. Usually. Because medium Coeli is really usually supposed to be in the 10th house. So when you have medium Coeli in the 9th, is usually a mentor. Tenth house, you have Taurus. Taurus deals with possessions, values, sensitivity. But see, Taurus rules the 2nd house, and with Virgo there, again, it's still implying a home business. A home business. Because that 2nd house, that 6th house, and that 10th house is strongly implying a home business. And it's healing there because of Chiron. All right, I'm gonna put this on pause. I'll be back. All right, so you have a lot of not really a lot, but you have a lot of exaltations in your chart. I already listed one, and this is the second one. This is myastrologybook.com. It says the moon and astrology, but even though it says the moon and astrology is going to talk about the moon in Taurus. Whereas the sun represents the divine spark descending into matter to create life, the moon is the receptacle receiving that divine spark, the chalice in which life grows, the substance of which all things are made. This is why the moon is exalted in Taurus. For Taurus is a sign of matter, substance, receptivity, and springtime, when the fertile earth receives the outrushing seed of life. The moon has no light of its own, but shines only by the reflected light of the sun. The moon symbol is the half cycle of personality. The moon symbol is a half circle of personality, which is but a reflection of our true self within the sun. The moon waxes and wanes through its phases, and so do the affairs of its house. The moon's house is where we feel and change the most, and the experiences to which our emotions are most vulnerable. The moon symbolizes more things than any other planet. It is yin, the principle of receptivity, the emotions, matter, our mother image, nurture, personality, the past, home and family, childhood, children and the young people, habits, patterns, memories, subconscious, public and mass consciousness, reflective and instinctual behavior, women in general and the wife in particular in the man's chart. In the physical body, the moon rules the stomach, breast, solar plexus, and all the bodily fluids and the flow of secretions. So, I think that person in your 10th house represents your mother, because you got the moon there, and you got a strange thing going on, because it looks like you had issues with your father, but your mother was a type of support for you. And I think your mother's highly psychic, because look at your chart. Look where Scorpio is. And see that red line is pointing right up to career. And then you got Chiron, which is the healer. And 515 is the divine feminine, because the divine feminine's number is 555. Like a Catholic will tell you 555 is Mother Mary, but that's really Isis. So 555 is 15, and you got 5 and 15. So whoever taught you or encouraged you about finances and because you might have just thought it was advice, but it actually was like spiritual stuff, like psychic stuff. Definitely mother, or like I said, because Scorpio was in the fourth house, it could be like a grandmother, an ancestor you don't even know that's watching over you. Because that's why I said, as soon as I did your chart, I was specifically told. They got my attention real quick, and they keep comparing you They like, for me, the twin flame is the highest for me, because that's personal. Like the numerology, and then the pink rose and rosary and all that. And see, the Virgin represents the divine feminine, the mother figure, the Mother Mary, but that's Isis. And see, Mayat, see how the Bible, the Protestants stole our stuff. The indigenous people, they stole our writings and flipped it on us. So they give you God and they give you the Holy Spirit, but it's really Isis and Mayat. And really, even though Isis is the creator, really, but Mayat created everything through chaos. Out of chaos came order, and she created everything out the storm. So when you see the X-Men, which again is really talking about us, when you see the X-Men, you got Storm, but that's really Mayat. But Mayat is what we would call the Holy Spirit. And when you look at the hieroglyphics, you see Isis standing in front of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh is allowed to sit on the throne. But he wouldn't be able to sit on the throne if it wasn't for Isis. The mother, the divine mother, she lets him sit there. And then if you watch, Isis covers Pharaoh with her wings. Mayat. Mayat covers Pharaoh with her wings, because read Malachi chapter 4. They tell you that Jesus Christ, the Son, with healing in his wings, because he's the Pharaoh. And that's why he's in Egypt in Matthew chapter 2. He had to go to Egypt and came back from Egypt. And in Revelation chapter 11, they say where our Lord was crucified, Egypt. But that's only after they're talking about the beast. And if you want to talk about the beast, first off, when you read the book of Revelation, there's beast up in heaven with God. So the beast is not necessarily evil. And if you do the studies of Bobby Hemmett, he'll tell you who the beast is. And 666 is such. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. And even in 1 Kings chapter 18, when God appears as a black cloud, because throughout the Bible, God appeared as darkness. Exodus 20 verse 21 with Moses, Luke 23, 43 to 46 with Jesus, Joel chapter 2, and then 1 Kings chapter 8, God appeared as darkness with Solomon, when Solomon dedicated the temple. So that dark cloud appeared, which was God with Elijah, but when it turned into a black hand, and that's where they get the black fist from, for the Black Panthers. And then 1 Kings chapter 18, when that black cloud, when God appeared as a black cloud that turned into a hand, the prophet Elijah was sitting on Mount Carmel. That's carbon melanin. Carbon melanin. Melanin is the 666, 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons, seen in Revelation 13. And then when you go to Mark chapter 7 verse 11, which is the number of the Moors, because the Moors were taken into captivity July 11th, 1619, and the 400 years is almost up, which means they'll be coming out of captivity, because God put them in captivity for 400 years, but it's almost up in 2 years. And then second, in 711 AD, the Moors invaded Spain. So when you see Mark chapter 11 verse 11, it talks about the gift of Korban. That's carbon melanin. And that's why it talks about the mother and the father, because that's the God gift of carbon. Carbon, God gift. Carbon melanin, or the 666, that's the God gift. And Paul Bagley calls it the dark matter, God particle. So this person has been inspirational in you with your career, but they're basically telling you that your career is really psychic stuff, spiritual stuff, psychic stuff, card reader, anything psychic, anything spiritual, intuitive, card reader, and that's where you'll get your money as well. But you just have an energy, a Saturnian energy, that kind of holds you back. And some people are trying to say it's the father, but whoever or whatever it is a Saturnian energy that's trying to hold you back. And that's why they're trying to heal that energy. And they gave you the power to heal it too. Because see, what happened with this new moon, with the moon last year, solar eclipse, they said they're gonna make a lot more women stand up. And I've got way more women contact me. And the first thing they've all said, and this has been the last week I've had women contact me. They said, I want you to do my chart again, but this time I want you to really focus on me. I don't want you to focus on my twin. And that's, you know, if the guy's not doing his job, that's exactly what you should do. You shouldn't let nobody stop you from your journey. He'll have to catch up. Like I said, my twins got to catch up. And what I'm trying to tell you, in the spirit realm, she keeps up. She got no problem keeping up. But now her in the physical and that body, now all she want to do is fight. That's why you see Aries on your chart. But you see Aries just want to duke it out. Aries just want to fight. So I'm assuming this female that I'm talking about that's been an inspiration for you is probably the sign of Taurus or a strong Taurus energy. But she's the one kind of really calling the shots here. And you have another a Capricornian or a Saturnian energy that's kind of holding you back that needs to be healed. So that's why your true north node is Virgo, because you got to stand up and fight for yourself and don't allow this thing to dominate you. And then again, it's still Virgo, which is still feminine, healing this Saturnian Capricornian energy in your second house and your sixth house. And your 10th house, which is career, is all about woman power, strong women power. 11th house is Gemini, which again is friends, association, groups. So you'll be using that for communications, maybe short-term travel. Coming to your 12th house, which again is a spiritual house, and it's all about endings and karma. Buildings it could be any building, really. It could be church, but it could also be hospital. It could be any building. But you got Cancer there. And you got the number 22 again. And your 12th house is ruled by Pisces. All right, what I'm going to do before we do your 12th house, I got to stop this. And for me, it's going to be part 1. To you, you'll hear it all as one thing. And then we'll continue. I'll be back. Now, if you notice, it kept saying that certain situations were highly exalted. Certain placements you had were highly exalted. So that feminine energy is kind of leading your chart and leading you. That's something strong, very strong energy. So that's why we now got to look at your 12th house ruled by Pisces. When we deal with Lilith, we have to be careful. And you also see the number 22 again. When we deal with Lilith, we have to be careful because people give Lilith a bad connotation. And sometimes you got to take it on a face-by-face basis. So I don't want to mess with that just yet. But see, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So that's connecting you to your 10th house. And Cancer rules your 4th house. So really your 10th house, 12th house, 4th house, and 8th house are all working together. Soul family energy with that divine feminine ruling everything. Astrology, Cancer, 12th house. I'm going to do something a little bit different. 8 and 12 houses. Eighth and 12th house astrology. Alright, I want to do it this way. Cancer in the 12th house. Let me do it different because they're really acting up. Just give me a moment. It's going to be well worth it. That's why I'm taking my time. Because the 12th house is a very important house, especially on your chart. It's not something you want to rush through. The 12th house in astrology rules endings. I'm going to add karma, hidden things, confined places, and your past life. The 8th house rules death because it's seen as a transformation going from one form of existence to another. The 12th house rules endings, where something ends to make way for something new. It's a clear the gutter house, clear the clutter house. And you know what's funny? Because I just seen Jophiel. She's just staring at me. Because I forget what I was on. But I went over there and then Jophiel was looking at me. And that's what she tells you. She tells you to clear the clutter. It's to clear the clutter house. And Jophiel is Libra for relationships. It's a clear the clutter house. Hidden things can be anything that's kept from others, usually referring to secrets. Confined places are anywhere that you are contained, like prison or hospitals. If you have planets in this house, the 12th house, the energy ruled by them tends to be hidden. And if you have a personal planet there, like the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, you tend to feel misunderstood. This house is ruled by Pisces and Neptune and is a cadent house. So you have no planets in your 12th house. Jupiter is close, but not in your 12th house. Twelfth house in Pisces. Well, you have Cancer. 12th house thinking. You keep your emotions to yourself, not wanting anyone to see just how emotional you are. You come across as fun and free. But when comfortable, you can show how sensitive you are. You need to work on being more sensitive to other people. All right, let's keep going. Cancer in the 12th house, always follow your instinct. Do not be afraid to express your true feelings, whether it is love or anger. Don't allow others to take advantage of your kind nature. All right. This is Go-To Astrology. The native is more withdrawn and secretive about himself or herself and what or she wishes to do in life. This native's personality shines the light, and they prefer to work in the background. Recognition is of less importance for what the native does. In many ways, the native is trying to prove to themselves something that they feel from time to time needs nourishment. This is astrologyclub.org. Give me a second. I'm going to pull this up. It's a lot to read. So I'm going to put it on a Word document and increase the text size. Compassionate and sensitive to the emotions of the people and creatures, you can easily give up your own emotional needs for those of others. But unless you are truly, genuinely inspired to give to others, you may eventually be worn down by others' inability to care for themselves. It will not be surprising for you to suddenly withdraw your emotional generosity when you feel your emotional support is being taken advantage of or not being utilized well or properly. Be aware of your inclination to martyr yourself emotionally to others in the belief or hope that doing so will earn you the unconditional love you seek from them. Since we are concerned with the karmic responsibility of Cancer to transmute the emotions from the basic emotions to that of compassion and understanding, this would be the best location for the sign of Cancer. The 12th house is the house of karma. From the viewpoint of transmuting the emotions, the 12th house affairs grant the Cancer sign the opportunity of so accomplishing this, for it is a house of compassion and understanding in many ways, since Cancer tends to deal mainly with the everyday nitty-gritty things of life, perhaps too often concerned with the pettiness of life, that the 12th house would offer the opportunity of getting involved with the universal principles because it is a house of universality. In this particular location of Cancer, the feelings of at-one-ment or atonement may be achieved by the Cancer sign. This feeling of being the true microcosmic reflection of the macrocosm, being at one with the cosmos. The final fulfillment will be letting go of emotional structure. The 12th house does deal primarily with the soul and karma. It is through achieving true spirituality, soul development, and a soul personality that Cancer can have an unselfish regard for others, and this will bring great rewards to the Cancer sign and to the cross of the 12th house. Emotions must be transmuted to unselfish love, used in the altruistic service to others. Thus, the soul will evolve and be able to speak on an intuitive level, and through this, Cancer can achieve tremendous spiritual initiation. Alright, so we're going to try to find Lilith in the 12th house. With Lilith in the 12th house, your thirst for freedom. You thirst for freedom but feel deeply controlled by the world around you. On the inside, you're strong, powerful, and have an almost primal energy, but your tendency is to hide this part of your pretending to fit within standard socialization and gender roles. If She said, with Lilith in the 12th house, you're probably going to draw relationships that involve power struggles, particularly in relationship to sexuality. So they're still dealing with that, but I already told you your 12th house is connected to your 8th house. So this person will present a deep primal connection to nature and a deep understanding of the ecology of this planet. You understand that pain and suffering are part of life and that you have a great deal to learn from animals. As much as you hate to deny it, you are connected equally to light and darkness. You overcompensate in life by hiding your darkness, which results in it coming out in an opportune moments. Well, that's Lilith. That's what she does. I'm going to show you something that's going to blow your mind. You probably already seen it, but I'm just seeing it now. In the recesses of your mind, you want to understand the darkness, and you instinctively know that there is so much to be learned from it. And then underneath that is a person, a picture of a black girl sitting down with a big ass afro with her legs crossed on the couch. Taurus girl rise. Taurus, sun sign Taurus, moon sign Aqua or Pisces. No, Aquarius, I'm sorry. Moon sign Aquarius, rising sign Scorpio. But I don't know. I just get the feeling that's that's that divine feminine I'm talking about on your chart. That's that Taurus. So I can't make this shit up. So I see her back in the day just sitting on the couch with her legs crossed, gossiping with her girlfriends, and you a little girl learning and studying her. So let me put that in there. That's so funny. See, I love what I do. I remember one time he was just sitting. I was in angel card readings, and one of them cards, I could feel that man's energy. He was just sitting there watching the whole thing, and he didn't want to talk or nothing. And I said, "There's one card that just keeps sitting there watching everything." He didn't want me to pick him or nothing. He just sitting there watching it. So I said, "Who this card?" I said, "I'm gonna wait till the end. I'm gonna pick that card and ask her." I said, "Who is this card?" I said, "Who you got in your life that's a Capricorn, Saturn energy or Capricorn?" And then it took a while to get back to me. She said, "That's my uncle. He was just sitting watching everything." All right, so that includes everything. Give me a moment. All right. So that's the house on the left. House on the right. His first house is where the east point is. Because if you notice his ascendant, hers was too. But this is a perfect case. Your ascendant is not always the first house. Now, an astrologer will count that as house 1, but his ascendant is in the 12th house. It's not the first house. Her east point is the first house. And I already counted it up with the system. It's very important we know that. And there's a reason why they do that. All right. So again, Sagittarius with Neptune. Just like she's Sagittarius with Neptune. Idealistic. Idealistic. Because that's his personality house, the first house. Idealistic. They have telepathy. They could come to each other in their dreams. If they wanted to, they could astral plane. Culture, he likes to travel, just like she does. Long stuff, and they want culture class type of people travel to a museum and stuff. And again, if the money's right, they go to Egypt and stuff. And he's also into that social defense, helping, worrying about the social injustices. That's the palace asteroid. So that's his first house. So it seems like when they traveling, that's when they at their best, is when they traveling. And you can see that on both houses. Now they want to start playing games, because if you know that they putting all this stuff on the border, so that energy, is in both houses, really. Kind of. It's kind of in the first house, but it's so close. So they really sharing his Capricorn energy in Sagittarius. But why? Because see, when you looked at her chart, there's definitely a Sagittarius Capricorn problem, like I said, where maybe the student's trying to be too controlling, because it's that power struggle. So his true north node is the balance. See, I told you Sagittarius is when they grow up, when they mature a little bit, stop all that petty stuff. So that's kind of like his true north node is basically saying, in this life, to balance out that Capricorn, when everything to be set in rules and regulation and everything serious, to balance it out with Sagittarius, which is having fun. See, because he even got Capricorn in the second house. So he really is trying to be serious minded about finances and stuff. One, two, three. So it was a third. So he might find himself in a relationship with a Sagittarius type or a Capricorn type. Now, the funny thing about this chart, see right now they're looking like they're more soulmates than twins. And when you see retrogrades, they may even have a karmic relationship, like a soul karmic relationship, because that's what it's looking like. So in that first and second house, he likes to. That's when he's at his best, when he's traveling. And maybe he just feels like he's getting away. It helps him, or maybe he's out in public, so he's more or less puts on a better face out in public. But that's when he's happiest, when he's traveling. So that's his first and second house. Now third house, he's in Aquarius. And again, he likes to go. He's expansive. He likes to teach. He can have good fortune and expansion because of Jupiter. And he may make money off of his skills, his talents. Fourth house, okay, Pisces and family. In the fourth house, but definitely spiritual. If it's got Pisces there, it's spiritual. But again, you see soul family, because we already showed you how her family is a soul family with Pisces, and then he's got Pisces in the fourth house, so he would be part of that soul family. Now, fifth house, problem in the fifth house. Now, you have to be careful whenever you see a Mars retrograde in the fourth or fifth house, because that's usually a person who can be passive aggressive, just blow up, and also they could even like hurt children. So you have to be very careful when you see that. And then it's also in the fifth house that his Chiron is retrograded. So he has some type of Leo Aries situation, possibly from a past life that he hasn't healed from, that he needs to heal from in this life. So we want to look at that Mars retrograde in the fifth house. As a planet of war, when Mars is retrograde, it can create anger and discord. Often it turns inward, and people go through periods of great self-doubt. Passive aggression, inner anger, stress, and anguish are all contributions of the Mars retrograde. Now, if they stay this way, they don't do anything to heal that situation, they can create illness, heightened stress, an increase in conflicts, and severe road rage. So this person would have to be balanced in emotion and nature. But they said even then, no one escapes this effect of Mars retrograde. Like I said, that's serious. Because on the chart to the left, there already were implications of abuse and stuff like that. So you can't be messing around with passive aggressive. You have to be very careful. Short tempers can be applied to even the most calm and patient people. They may have difficulty in speaking up for themselves. They may have a lack of self-confidence, a lack of direction, or other self-imposed emotional blocks. And that can hold them back from achieving their dreams. This type of person looks to other people to fight their battles for them. And they get disappointed when no one steps forward to fight their battles for them. And they might feel like a doormat to the person they love or in a relationship with. And they say they won't speak up until they take in all they can, but then that's passive aggression because now they're too loud and too crazy. So this could point back to past life experience where this person was directed to perform regrettable acts under someone else's order or demand, such as a soldier, a guard, or potentially a criminal. This person should try hobbies for focusing their frustrations and stress in a productive manner. Building, hammering, gardening, and other types of physical activities. Learning techniques for relaxation can be a great help. They will need to look inward to examine and overcome those issues. Because you brought these issues into this lifetime to work with. That's why you see the retrograde. Okay, Taurus in the 6th house. Now, why would Taurus be in the 6th house? We already proved that Taurus is trying to heal these. They're trying to heal the situation, trying to make it workable. And I already told you about the Mother Mary energy. So Taurus is trying to help in that same feminine energy that's helping her, which is either her mom's energy or some type of feminine ancestor, is trying to help him heal in the 6th house. 7th house, Gemini, again. And her 3rd house is Libra in Gemini. His 7th house is Gemini and Libra. So again, people are trying to heal it, heal that energy. And there you go, Saturn retrograde shows up again. 8th house, Cancer. Once again, showing us the soul family. And that 8th house, that cross said this will be a significant meeting, event, a soul connection, or even a breakup. And then once again, that Saturn retrograde energy is there again. In regards to the family. And then the 9th house is Leo. See, you got to really, both of these charts tell a story. Because, see, Aries appears to be her mentor on her chart. Now, you see Aries over here. And you would immediately say, well, what's the connection? Here's the connection. Go back. Aries rules her 1st house. Go back to her 1st house. What sign is in the 1st house? Leo. Now, what house is his Aries in? 5th house. Who rules the 5th house? Leo. Now, in his 9th house position is Leo again. And then when you look at hers, where's Sagittarius at? And her 5th house ruled by Leo. So this is one of the charts where you really have to know what you're doing. That's why I say you can't just have anybody do your stuff. Because you got to really have discernment and just really study. You got to be able to see this stuff. And then they go to moon sign again. Now, why is the moon repping Leo? And that's where it was for the last solar eclipse. The moon and the sun was in Leo. So why is the moon in Leo? Because that same divine feminine energy that's trying to heal over there is trying to heal him over here. Because he likes Leo. Like, when he's with Leo energy, he's pretty much cool. Because that's why her 5th house is so, like, happy. And then her 5th house is a lot like his 1st house. But it's that Sagittarius energy. And that's a more mature energy. Then we get into Medium Coeli. And Vesta works with Virgo. They always work together. But that's a spiritual. That's a spiritual connection. And again, Virgo's about healing. And we've already said that his 10th house can be health or service or some type of healing. But Vesta is going to make sure it's also kind of spiritual. But again, on her chart, 2nd house, Saturn in Virgo. So her 2nd house is a lot like his 10th house, because Saturn rules Capricorn, which rules the 10th house. So I'm seeing the same motherly energy, trying to keep everything together in his chart as I am in hers. The 11th house is all about relationships, partnerships, deep information, because that's Pluto, representing the 8th house ruled by Scorpio. And it's careless and free. It's up to date, maybe the newest technology, but it's very free flowing. Like they don't want nobody telling them what to do and what not to do. His 12th house, again Scorpio, 12th house, 8th house. So you really want to know what that Mercury in the 12th house is. But it's retrograde. So I want to look around just a little bit. I doubt if I'm going to find what I'm looking for, but I'm going to try. Uh-oh. She's got it. So she's not doing retrograde though, but she said Mercury in the 12th house. This is 8th and 12th houses.com. And believe it or not, that's the best place to go for this particular question. But I wish she had a retrograde, but we can work that out. Mercury retrograde is going to be communication problems. Could even have equipment trouble. Like he'd be on his way to church or something spiritual and it would break down. If he finds himself like in a court or some type of building, they may have hard trouble understanding his side of the situation. So we're going to read all this. Give me a second. But remember, we have to add the fact that his Mercury is retrograde. So whatever this woman is saying, this is 8 and 12 houses.com. Mercury in the 12th house. When Mercury is placed in your 8th house, you are a person who keeps their thoughts and ideas secrets from others. You are a very private person and you tend to express your thoughts. You do not readily communicate with others about anything unless you feel that you can trust them. You have an intuitive mind and can see through others' words and verbal accolades. You like conversation that is deep and has substance. You cannot stand superficial conversation and small talk. When you do communicate with others, you prefer to be with others that are of a deep, insightful nature like yourself. You enjoy probing the mind of others and try to figure out if they are telling the truth. You enjoy mind games and exercises to strengthen your mind. You are an imaginative thinker and have a mind that likes to delve into complex subjects. You enjoy research and thinking about what makes life the way it is. You like to understand how things work on a deep level and enjoy examining different things to figure out what makes them tick. You have a mind that is like a sponge and you absorb everything on in the environment. This ability can lead to confusion, irritability, and depression. You pick up other people's thoughts easily and sometimes find it hard to differentiate between what you are thinking and what others are thinking. You are gifted and might have the ability to read minds, although you may not even know it. If you are in a room with people, you tend to be the one who knows what others are going to say. You can see right through fakers and people who put on the false persona. You read people like a book, and many people who need someone to listen to, their problems will be attracted to you. Others like to discuss their secrets with you, even if you do not particularly want to know. You may be standing in the grocery store and someone walks up to you and tells you that they are getting old and having a midlife crisis. People who are struggling with taboo issues are drawn to you and they will start talking to you. You enjoy talking with others about important life matters such as life, death, spirits, finances, and property. You enjoy learning things about people that they would not normally tell others. You will make an excellent psychologist or counselor. You have the ability to be perceptive and pull out the truth in others. You know what is going on with others and are able to communicate the words they want to hear. Your gift of expression touches others on a deep emotional level. Your biggest fault is that you try to hide your true thoughts from others. If you like someone, you may never let them know it directly. When you are angry with someone, you will internalize that anger. You repress your true thoughts and sometimes can explode with a sharp tongue when you feel stressed. You will benefit from writing down your intense thoughts and ideas in a journal. Writing is a good stress reliever for you and can benefit greatly by getting your ideas out of your mind into reality. You probably enjoy reading detective books, mystery novels, and metaphysics books on a new age topic such as astrology, meditation, and healing. You enjoy discussing spiritual topics with those you trust and those that can understand you. You are curious about the mysteries and hidden things in life and enjoy thinking about the paranormal. You would benefit by studying the paranormal and researching mystical phenomena. Alright, so what we're going to do now is just check that retrograde and get out of here. And I will sum everything up. When Mercury is retrograde, communication is greatly affected by the planet's pull. During this period, individuals may find their messages to be conveyed through or another less familiar medium. Messengers may be misunderstood and whispers may be overheard and mail or email may be misdirected. Reviewing legal matters can become confusing or unclear. Public speaking can become difficult and those giving speeches can be easily misquoted. You may find it easier to provide self-expression through other forms rather than verbal or written. If Mercury is in retrograde in your chart, communications are probably tough for you. You may find your words can get you in trouble, or you may be afraid to speak your mind for fear of the consequences. As part of life's influence, it's likely that when you were once scorned for speaking out, perhaps your words significantly hurt a person or people. You may even influence a riot and then punished for your words, were then punished for your words. You may have even influenced a riot. Let's go get these devils. A Mercury retrograde symbolizes that you are afraid to say the wrong thing, or that people take your words in the wrong way, so you find it easier to not speak at all. To overcome these lessons, you should believe in yourself and the ability of your communication skills. Practice public speaking and celebrate the achievement of speaking to a group. So there you have it. All right. So just letting you know, I find nothing that would I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying I find nothing to say that they're twin souls. They definitely got karma, and they're definitely soul mates. In that sense, they're soul mates, soul karma. But as far as twin souls, I don't know. But they definitely got karma. That's definite. In fact, where you look at that normally denotes twin soul, it's actually saying they got soul karma. Like they got to work on this. So anywhere where we did the retrogrades, that's what you work on in this life. All right. If anybody else wants their natal charts done, anything intuitive. Now I put up a video on the channel that you're listening to right now, and you can watch that. But I just put it up so it tells you how deep and how thorough it is what we actually do. So you might want to check that out as well. We do anything that's intuitive, from cards to questions. We do the phone consultation. We even do research for people that want us to research stuff. So anything that's like that, you can go to the description box and you have the information there. You can always listen to the videos, because the videos are right here public. So you can listen to the videos, or you can also go to the description box below and you'll have information there as well as contact information. God bless.